If you're a maintenance supervisor for a commercial property, you've had to deal with everything from leaky faucets to flickering light bulbs. But nothing's worse than that ancient boiler that's lived in the building since the day it was built, 50 years ago. It's enough to make anyone lose their cool. That's where Grainger comes in. With industrial-grade products and dependable fast delivery, Grainger can help with any challenge, from worn-out components to everyday necessities. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Unlock your dream property with Meeks Realty Group, where Rich the Realtor makes real estate dreams a reality. Whether it's residential or commercial, we've got Charleston to Huntington covered. Your key to exceptional real estate experiences start here. Meeks Realty Group. Contact us at meeks.us.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
Hey, folks, again, what day is this? Tuesday morning to you. Welcome to the show. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly Hotline, 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text, 304-935-5008. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you by Thornhill Auto Group, including Thornhill Ford. Find the best in presidential savings all month long. Visit thornhillford.net and on the road to total savings, US 119 at Chapmanville. We do the show from the Paramar Store studio. If there's not a Paramar store near you now, there will be soon. Phone calls to the show with service of Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly on Spring Street in Charleston. Texting services provided by West Virginia's finest men's store, Tony the Taylor, Virginia Street in Charleston. Visit bestmastertaylor.com. A little quieter today than what it was yesterday here in the Kanawha Valley, but that's going to change tomorrow as yet another snowstorm moves in. Enjoy the nice quiet while you can. We'll check in with Bryan Hughes from Storm Tracker 13 a little bit later on. Plus, we'll go live to the Capitol not once but twice. Brad McElhinny and I will discuss a couple of things, including, did you happen to see this? There is a bill being proposed that would ban woke words and phrases in West Virginia. We'll get into that with Brad and some other things coming up a little bit later on. Plus, of course, the boys talking about Wilson and Meadows are back live at the Capitol again Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week. So we'll close out the show by going back and talking to them. Your calls and texts are welcome too. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly Hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. I want to welcome into the show now. He's only been on the job for a couple of weeks, and I'm going to go ahead and apologize already if I refer to him by a different title, but it is Attorney General JB McCuskey. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Dave. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. I say that because, you know, when you were in the auditor's office for so long, I may accidentally call you that, but you are indeed the Attorney General.
I am, and I'm loving it. It's a really awesome job. It's the best. When
you are out and you're talking to people because you have the auditor's job, do you accidentally refer to yourself as the auditor?
It's happened. It's kind of like when the new year changes and you write the wrong year down on every form for the first month. But we're getting there.
Talk about how the first couple of weeks have been. I mean, you getting all the boxes unpacked and such?
Yeah, so we're working on getting the office put together. But I think importantly, what happened with me is that I was able to put together a sort of transition committee months and months ago. And I was able to build a team of people that I was going to bring in to add to the people that were already in Patrick's office. So, you know, we were able to hit the ground running on day one, and we sort of haven't looked back since. And, you know, we got off the ground pretty quickly with a suit against New York, which we're really hopeful for and very proud of our work in that case and the coalition we were able to build. And now we're in the legislative session. So there's a lot going on.
I want to talk to you about a couple things. One of those is fentanyl. Your office released some information that you have joined roughly 25 or so states urging the U.S. Senate to pass something called the Halt Fentanyl Act. Explain that, sir.
Yeah, so the Halt Fentanyl Act is a sort of a groundbreaking federal law that will enable law enforcement officers at all to really start to crack down on fentanyl crimes and fentanyl-related crimes. And so we were really, really proud to sign on to that. to urge the Senate to get that through, because it's important. And as we know in West Virginia, there are no bigger problems than the needless and massive amounts of loss of life that we continue to experience because of this drug crisis. And right now, that drug is fentanyl. And we need every tool in our toolbox to get it off the streets.
And one of the things that I know that you have done, and it goes along the lines of drugs, is that, and I don't know what the exact title of the gentleman is, but you got someone working for you that has worked for you in the past that's going to be focusing a lot on drug issues. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I'd love to. So it's a guy named Josh Barker, who I've known for a very long time. But Josh was a field rep in the auditor's office, and Josh became an addict. And I remember getting the phone call from his wife after he'd been Narcaned, and it was a really informative sort of time for me and for him. I mean, I learned an enormous amount about how prevalent and hard to spot substance abuse can be. And I think both of us together sort of, we learned a lot about, how we should be treating addicts that are trying to get better and how to manage that. So when I got elected to the AG's office, I talked to Josh because I wanted somebody in the community who could speak to both service providers and addicts in a way that other people couldn't. And Josh has that experience and jumped at the chance. And so he is going to be, our liaison out of the AG's office into the substance abuse community so that we can make sure that we're doing every single thing we can to help stop kids from getting addicted in the first place, and finding resources for people that are trying to do the right thing.
And I think sometimes in these kind of situations, AG, it can be very important to have somebody, as you said, that speaks the language and somebody that's been there. And I know Josh very well. He's a good friend, and I think he'll do an incredible job in that role. So hats off to you for giving him that opportunity.
He already is doing an incredible job, and I'm just really thankful to be able to have that kind of intel, as the West Virginia First Foundation and so many things. The AG's office touches that community, and we want to make sure we're doing everything we can.
The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Snap Fitness. Snap has a wide selection of equipment, including free weights, cardio, machine weights, and more. 5 convenient locations, too: Charleston, Hurricane, Winfield, Barbersville, and Milton. Visit snapfitness.com for more details. So, what's this about the little war or whatever that maybe not war is not the right word, but with New York on climate change? You've kind of gotten on the gloves here. Tell us about that.
So New York decided in their infinite wisdom that they were going to fine energy companies to the tune of $75 billion over the next 10 years. And, we saw this as an affront, not just to the great companies that produce energy here in West Virginia, but sort of to the Constitution at large, right? So what we are doing is we build a coalition of myself and 22 other states, and we have sued New York to invalidate this law. We think it's unconstitutional, and to be honest, I think it is kind of silly in its application and in its intent.
I think it was last week that announcement came down that several states and other parties had reached, I think it was like a $7.4 billion settlement, something like that, going back to drugs for a moment, with the Sackler family and their company, Purdue Pharma. Tell us about that. Yeah,
so that was a case that was filed under the opioid cases when Patrick was the AG. Mm-hmm. And what happened is that all the other drug companies ponied up the settlements, but Purdue decided that they were bankrupt, which is comical when you consider that all of the people and the Sackler family are all still billionaires. So they held up the process, sort of dragging their feet through a bankruptcy. And what we were able to do, our council was able to finally get over all the bankruptcy hurdles and get in some language that everyone could agree on, about $7 billion in total. West Virginia's share of that will be about $55 million, which is a great number, and we will get paid out in a time frame that's a little faster than the other states. So we'll start getting a little bit more money faster than most of the other states in the settlement.
Talking again with Attorney General JB McCuskey. And, sir, before we let you go, your name has been brought up a lot in the office in regards to this Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act and the Americans with Disabilities Act. Explain what 504 was going to be and what your stance and what your office's stance is on that.
Yeah, so I have been an advocate for the disability community throughout my career in politics. And what what's happening here is that there was a lawsuit filed in September of last year challenging the addition of one additional disability to the list of disabilities that are covered under 504. There's some language in the lawsuit that, quite frankly, probably shouldn't have been there, but that's besides the point. We are working very hard. We worked all through the weekend to get this case stayed and dismissed, and we are very hopeful that that's going to happen in the near future. And I would like to reassure that every family that has either a child or is a part of the 504 community that we are not going to allow anything to happen. Nothing has happened to the program as it is now, and we're fighting very hopeful that soon we'll have some resolution here. But the 504 plans are not going anywhere, and everyone that's on them should be assured that we're fighting to make sure that they stay in place as they were.
I know that was a concern of a lot of people. I read Attorney General JB McCuskey, as always, I appreciate you being here. Be safe. We'll talk soon, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Dave, thanks, buddy. Talk to you soon, man.
Attorney General JB McCuskey. I almost said Attorney General Patrick Morrissey, and then I almost referred to him as State Auditor because, when you're old and don't have a lot of brain cells like I don't, sometimes old habits die hard. But it is Attorney General JB McCuskey. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you by Live Healthy, West Virginia, presented by WVU Medicine. Live Healthy tackles pressing health issues, heart disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's, and RSV. It's a podcast offering insights into medical breakthroughs and preventative care, featuring WVU Medicine's expert physicians aimed at fostering healthier lifestyles and beyond West Virginia. Great resource. Check out the latest episodes, WVMetronews.com, under the podcast menu, and start your journey towards better health today. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Taylor text 304-935-5008. We got the talk line boys, Wilson and Meadows, back at the Capitol again today. We'll check in with them, give you a little preview of the show as we close out this show. They'll be there today, tomorrow, and on Thursday. That'll be their normal routine at the Capitol. We're going to talk to Bryan Hughes. I thought I was done with Weather Boy, but apparently not, because we get another winter storm rolling through the area on top of the flooding that many areas saw this past week. We'll talk to Bryan Hughes about that. And Brad McElhinny is up next. Back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Are you a physical therapy assistant and looking for an opportunity in orthopedics, wellness, and athletic care? If so, Generations Physical Therapy is offering flexible work hours and an upbeat atmosphere. With 7 convenient locations, Generations may have a job designed for you. Visit generationspt.com.
Nobody does President's Day like Thornhill. Hey, it's Sydney, inviting you to Thornhill Ford Lincoln on the Thornhill Motor Mile, where you can find the best of the best in presidential savings. We're talking Benjamins. New 24 Ford Escape or Bronco Sport, available up to $6,500 off. 24 F-150 STX up to $8,000 off. 24 Expedition up to $14,000 off. You want it, and Thornhill has it. Plus Thornhill's 10-year, 150,000-mile warranty with your new purchase. Visit us online at thornhillford.net and on the road to Total Savings US 119 Chapmanville. Qualify for all offers through Ford Motor Credit. See Thornhill for all details.
When you need a fighter, you need us. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm for the people.
Office 222 Capitol Street, Charleston. Cases will be handled by West Virginia licensed attorneys. The attorney in this ad is not licensed in West Virginia. ForThePeople.com.
For your build or restoration, you can always count on us. Professional service and dedication, Charity's the name to trust. Saving you more, saving you time, providing quality building and design, right on time, right on budget. Call on Jarrett Construction.
When extreme weather strikes, tune to 580 WCHS for live coverage, news, and instructions. Our experienced team keeps you safe and informed during weather emergencies. Stay one step ahead with real-time updates on 580 WCHS. Your safety is our priority.
It is 9:20 on this Tuesday morning. Senior producer Ryan Nicholson across the hall doing his thing. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you part by Bridge Valley. Their WIN Academy can provide free college credit in nursing and advanced manufacturing to students while they're still in high school. Visit bridgevalley.edu/WIN Academy for more information. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Taylor text 304-935-5008. Coming up on tomorrow's show, of course, we're going to be watching the next winter storm to hit the area. Nutrition expert Millie Snyder is here. Dr. Casey Sachs of the aforementioned Bridge Valley will be stopping by. I'm going to introduce you to a lady by the name of Karen Adkins. I met her via telephone last week, and she's quite the spitfire of a lady. And she's championing a cause having to do with families needing a place to stay when they are caring for or visiting with their loved ones who may be in the hospital for long periods of time. She's got a great story of trying to help others, and you're going to meet her on tomorrow's show. Quick editor's note, though, and programming note. I will be away from the microphone this Thursday. I have got a day off. Amanda Barron of WOWK-TV 13 will be hosting the show that day along with Dale Cooper. I will be back on Friday. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Vitaylor, text 304-935-500. Brad McElhinny is here. Brad, good morning. How are you, sir?
Oh, hey, I am good. And, just a little bit of minutia, a little bit of house cleaning. The phone number in my contacts for this show is under Danny Jones because of back in the day. So occasionally when I have been on this show, which used to be hosted by Danny Jones, I will hit the button for his personal cell phone. And so this morning I called Danny's personal cell phone instead of calling the show. I did go to voicemail. But Danny, if you're out there, hey, I hope you're having a good morning. I hope you're having fun. I didn't actually mean to call you, but it's great to touch base. I hope you're well, Danny.
Well, Brad, I've been doing this show for nearly 5 years now, 5 years in May. So you might want to make that change. Just saying. I'm apparently not going anywhere, so not for a while.
Is it time to update my contacts?
Possibly.
Finally.
Yeah.
I can update.
You and Jim Justice may need to update the flip phone. I'm just saying.
What would be fun is if we could do that together. That would be nice. That would be team bonding.
All right. Let's get serious here for a moment. The big news over the last couple of days has been the widespread flooding, of course, in southern West Virginia. We got a lot posted about it. Chris Lawrence actually spent the last couple of days down there. He and I were talking about it off the air this morning. Governor Morrisey toured the area yesterday, and he's got a presser coming up at 10 this morning to talk about it. Now we wait, I guess, for word from Washington about aid for the area. Is that right, Brad?
Yes. So the administration is applying for a national disaster declaration, applying for help from FEMA, and the West Virginia's congressional delegation, I received an email this morning, is also on board with pursuing that disaster declaration. The Governor Morrisey, is having a briefing at 10 regarding his travel through southern West Virginia through the flood zone yesterday. So we'll hear more about what he experienced. My understanding is in the Metro News home office, Chris Lawrence is covering Governor Morrisey's comments, and Jeff Jenkins is headed for the flood zone himself this morning, live and in person. So,
I talked to
team coverage.
Yeah, as I said, I talked to Chris a little bit as we were transitioning from one show to the next, and he talked about being. Of course, he was in Williamson. Chris was Saturday for the Southern West Virginia Fishing Expo that was there at the Field House in Williamson. I think he just spent some extra time down there, and then went back again. I know he was down there, spent a lot of time down there yesterday, and I can say thankfully that in my lifetime, Brad, I only went through one flood, and that was in 1996. My family was impacted by the Buffalo Creek flood back in 72. But I will say a lot of those areas, Brad, for particularly Mingo and McDowell counties, my native Logan County got hit too, but I think Mingo and McDowell really got hit harder. Sadly, it's just a way of life down there every couple of years, sometimes more than that. It's sad, really.
Well, it is, such sharp terrain, those steep hillsides, in the river valley or the creek bed down below. And anytime you get day after day after day of precipitation, it lends itself to situations like this one, unfortunately.
You're right. Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you part by Meeks Realty Group. Looking to buy or sell, Meeks has you covered from residential to commercial. Trust Rich the Realtor, one of the area's premier real estate teams, to guide you every step of the way. Meeks, where your dreams find their home. Call them today, 304-932-7488, or email R. Klein with a K, at meeksrealtygroup.com. So, Brad, I talked about this yesterday, all of the hubbub surrounding what some legislators wanted to call the artist formerly known as Spruce Knob. Some wanted it to be called Trump Mountain. Now, it was a resolution and not a bill It was never going to happen anyway. But as I said yesterday, it had the desired effect in getting the Trump base fired up as well as the Trump haters. And I want to read a statement, a portion of which, I'm going to read the whole thing, that was posted to social media last night from Delegate Patrick Lucas, Delegate, out of Cabell County. It was a long post. I've got the entire thing posted over on Dave Allen Radio and Facebook, so I'll shorten it for our segment here. He starts out by stating it was a resolution, as I said, not a bill, which we talked about yesterday as well. He went on to say that the resolution has no chance of becoming law. He states that he thought the idea was simply to honor President Trump. He says he signed it not thinking much about it, and then once the feedback started coming in, that he requested on Friday that his name be removed from the resolution. Now, he says it was officially, the removal, granted yesterday. And he goes on to say, wait for it here, Brad, because it's not something that you often hear in political circles on either side. You certainly would never hear President Trump say it. He was wrong. He apparently felt so bad about it that on Friday night, Delegate Lucas wrote a resolution that says no West Virginia landmark, state park, or other state-owned property shall be named after a politician. Now, again, you can read the entire statement on Dave Allen Radio and on Facebook. Your thoughts?
So I am the one person who did not get fired up about this.
I didn't either. I was just reacting to other people. So,
West Virginia is a 70% Trump state, so obviously very much support for the current and past president. But what West Virginia loves even more than that is West Virginia, very much a state enamored with its own history, its own traditions, its own pride. People have, tattoos, the outline of the state, very much a state with its own identity that's taken to heart by its people. And I think that's where this one washed out is, Spruce Knob, which you get in West Virginia history as the highest point in the state, just outranked, of all things, that identity with President Trump as a Trump state.
Yeah, so, I mean, what do you think, though, of some of these folks, particularly Delegate Lucas, coming back and saying, hey, I was wrong? You don't hear that very often, Brad.
You don't hear that very often, and, good for him. You certainly don't see it at the national level, but West Virginia is a small state. People know each other, and maybe there's still a place in West Virginia politics to say, I was wrong, or I changed my mind, or I've looked at it a different way, or the people's opinion has prevailed upon me.
I wanted to bring something up here to you. Have you got a couple seconds, Brad? I know I told you I wouldn't keep you that long, but I got one thing I got to bring up to you. Can you hang out with me here just one second?
Oh, sure.
Okay. You sound thrilled. All right. So this story, this came out yesterday about, I'm going to try to get through this without laughing. Just when you thought that we couldn't get any more ridiculous with the whole Spruce Knob story. How about woke words in West Virginia? We're going to try to ban words now. And you know how I feel about banning words. There was, I guess it's a bill that was introduced yesterday, and I've got information posted about it again on my Facebook page, Dave Allen Radio, that certain delegates, Kathy Hess-Krause, friend of the show, was one of the lead delegates on this, but there were several others. She's the one that I recall, that they want to remove certain words that we use or to be used in state government language. For example, the term pregnant people or pregnant person can only be called pregnant woman or pregnant mom. No more chest feeding, which is, I guess, their words of the woke term. Now it would be breastfeeding. Body fed or person fed needs to go back to breastfed. Breast milk should be called breast milk, not human milk. Rather than birthing person, it's birthing mom. Rather than laboring person, it's birthing mom. Rather than menstruating person or menstruating people, use the term woman or women. Rather than birth giver, it has to be woman. And rather than woman with an X or woman with a Y, I didn't know that was a thing, it has to be women, WOMEN. So this is what we have to focus on, Brad? I mean, nothing else?
thank goodness we are free speech absolutists in this country.
I am 100%.
We'll always back your right to free speech.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm confused.
Go ahead.
I heard about this bill this morning. So does that apply to me and Dave, or it applies to government communications?
It's government communications.
If it applies to me and Dave, I reserve my right to call Dave a pregnant person. You cannot stop me from calling Dave a pregnant person.
Well, that's Body by Miller Lite. That's what the problem there is. But again, Brad, I get what they're saying, and I've railed for the past 5 years about political correctness and wokeism and things like that. But come on, man. I mean, and with all due respect to these delegates, all of whom I see as friends, I mean, this is what we are concerned about right now. I mean, we are 49th, 50th, 51st in every damn thing in the world, but we're worried about stupid crap like this? Really? The whole state, or a portion of the state, is underwater right now. I mean, this is what we're spending our time on? This is why we send these people to the Capitol? Really?
We are fighting the woke virus. But I will say I am unfamiliar with that kind of language in any official state communication I've ever read.
Yeah, you and everybody else is unfamiliar with that.
I've heard that language on occasion during the public hearings that used to exist in the House of Delegates, but that came in from the outside, and people were exercising their free speech to use the language that they choose. I have absolutely never seen the kind of examples that you cited. I mean, even from the former DHHR, which might deal with pregnancies and that kind of thing, I'm at a loss for an example of how it would actually apply and why it would need to be done.
Well, any of those delegates, many of whom have been on this show in the past, they're welcome to come on and explain it to me. What are you looking at today, Brad?
Oh, so we're going to there's going to be potential action in the state Senate on actual viruses. The bill that would loosen up vaccination requirements in public and private schools today is amendment stage, so I do expect some amendments focusing on particularly the private school aspect of that. I mean, if you're a Catholic school, should you have to abide by the state's loosened rules for your student population, or could you, as a private school, have a fairly strict vaccination policy? So that's one thing. It's the significant thing today. There is another culture issue in the Senate Health. Of
course there is.
Yeah, clamping down on transgender issues among West Virginia's youth. Further scaling back on the kind of gender therapy and gender treatment that potentially could be available to kids under age 18. So that's coming out in the Senate Health Committee this afternoon. So we are doing a lot of hot button issues here at the West Virginia Legislature today.
All right, Brad. As always, I appreciate it. You got to hear a little bit of my rant there, so I appreciate you sitting through that, man. Thanks a lot.
See, after I told you my things, don't you wish they were arguing about the names of mountains instead?
Yeah. I'll go back to the good old days of last Friday when we were just talking about mountains. I appreciate you being here, man. Thanks a lot.
Hey, take care. Bye.
Brad McElhinny, of course, you can follow him on X and metronews.com, and, of course, on the air as well to keep up with the latest with what's going on under the dome. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Hudson's Pizza. It is heart-shaped pizza time all month long. Get your 14-inch one-topping heart-shaped pizza anytime this month. $14. Dine in, carry out, or delivery. Find your nearest Hudson's at Hudson'sPizza.com. Now, again, I am not saying that I am opposed. I mean, I think the whole world has lost its collective minds. Okay. That's kind of my opinion on everything. My point in saying all this is to say, again, we have a foster care crisis. We have a child care crisis. We are what's the word I'm looking for when it comes to workforce participation? We are the worst in the nation. And I love my state. I love West Virginia. But this is what we are spending time on, is things like this, when we have all of these other issues. I just don't get it. But that's just me. We're going to take a break. We'll be back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses bring first-class businesses to your community.
I'm John Carruthers, the owner of Best Virginia Heating and Cooling. Here at Best Virginia, we believe in providing a 5-star experience for your family. That's why we're always looking for hungry, humble, smart people to join our team. Our technicians are drug-tested and background checked. If you want to work with a locally owned and operated company that truly values you and our customers, we want to hear from you. To apply, simply visit bestvirginiahvac.com or Indeed to view our open positions.
The new year is here, and it's time for a new beginning in a new ride. Walker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Hurricane is standing by to help you start the new year right with a new 4-wheel drive just in time for the winter weather. Gene and Ryan have marked down their new inventory, and you've got to take advantage of these great deals. Check this out. New Ram 2500 Heavy Duty with up to $12,000 off MSRP while supplies last. If you don't want to get stuck in the snow this winter, you need to check out a new Jeep Wrangler and save up to $8,000 off MSRP. And if you're looking for a bargain, you've got to check out the new Jeep Compass with prices starting at under $30,000. Now, if you can't find the 4x4 that you're looking for on the new lot, then it's probably over on the pre-owned lot, and all of that inventory is marked down too. Walker's got something for everyone this winter, so don't wait. Take that short 20-minute drive from Charleston or Huntington to Walker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, just off the Hurricane exit of I-64. Walker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, making friends one deal at a time.
According to Feeding America, over 7 million seniors nationwide were food insecure in 2022. West Virginia is no different. Hi, I'm Jason, President and CEO of Union Mission Ministries. For 113 years, Union Mission has focused on helping people in need. Right now, our senior citizens need our help. That is why Union Mission is partnering with local senior living facilities to get food delivered directly to those in need. Will you help us reach more seniors? Visit unionmission.com to learn more.
Aye.
21 minutes away from 10. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor, text 304-935-5008. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Pinnacle Consultants. Pinnacle offers a 4-phase assessment for your property's inspection, sampling, and analysis. Comprehensive reporting and management planning. Visit pinnaclecorp.net, because what you don't know can't hurt you. Man, oh man, I have got the text line lit up. I'm going to try to get to those as I can just in a moment. Bryan Hughes is here from Storm Tracker 13. How you doing, man?
Oh, you know what? I'm on dry land. That's the important part.
Yeah. So did you finally get off the boat? Because you were you were stranded. You and Bosun were stranded on the boat, man. Is that right?
Yeah. We were there. We got there Saturday night, and we finally both got to get off the boat this morning at about 2 a.m.
Well, that's good to hear. You know, I told you the last time you were on what I think it was Friday, talking about the potential flooding, which, you know, we did see in southern West Virginia, particularly. We had a mini snowstorm that kind of caught some people like myself by surprise coming in yesterday morning. It was pretty rough drive in yesterday morning from Putnam County.
That band of snow, it did its own thing, and it was like from Milton to Charleston back up to Drennan, and that was it.
That was it. I mean, it was, and it was all gone, and the sun was out by about 10 or 10:30. Not going to be the case with this next storm system, though, right?
Right. We're expecting this. First of all, there's a couple of flurries still possible today at any point across the area because we're just so cold. But as we head into tonight, 10, 11 o'clock, we'll see a few little light snow showers popping up. And then by the time we get to, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, light snow showers, relatively steady. But here's the deal. This is going to be a slow roll on the snow accumulation. It's going to take, a good solid 8 to 12 hours for us to accumulate the 2 to 3 inches worth of snow. And then we're going to have a lull as we go into Wednesday afternoon, early evening. And then in the late night hours, we'll get another little batch of snow, maybe throws another inch or so in going into early Thursday morning. So within about what would be about a 30-hour time period, we'll have anywhere from 3 to 5 inches worth of snow across the area. So it takes a while for us to get there. And the roads are going to be able to be plowed properly, and people are going to be able to get around relatively easy. So it's not coming down real heavy all at once. That's good news.
Well, and unlike last week, the difference is, I think, too, between what we had, which turned out to be not a whole lot for the Charleston area, to be honest with you. I mean, almost nothing at all. It is going to be a heck of a lot colder. I mean, even today, it's pretty dang cold out there, and it's not going to warm up over the next couple of days. So whatever snow we do get is going to stick. It's not going to go away quickly like what last week's snow did.
Right. This is, we're looking at temperatures that are 20 plus degrees below normal for this time of year for our daytime highs. And then you look at the low temperatures. We're looking at about 15 degrees below normal. So when you look at that, obviously stuff's going to stick around. But thankfully, at least by the time we get this weekend, 40 on Saturday, we'll be in the mid to upper 40s on Sunday. And next week we do warm up. But it's going to be a very efficient snow that's going to be produced tonight through tomorrow. And so it's going to be light and fluffy. It blows around easy. And that's good if you're driving down the road and it just kind of blows around. It's not stuff that's heavy and thick that is difficult to shovel, things of that nature. But, more than anything, yes, the cold is the big story because of the temperatures, being so low and so far below normal for this time of year. And everybody wants to know how's it going to impact them. So go ahead and set that up for people let's just take the morning commute tomorrow morning. Most people 7, 8 o'clock. What can they expect? You're going to expect some light snow showers that continue. I would definitely be prepared to take my time tomorrow morning. I do expect most schools to be on a delay, at least here in the Kanawha Valley. So Kanawha County schools probably would go on a 2-hour delay for tomorrow morning. There's a potential that they do go ahead and roll in a cancellation. But at this point, I would project a 2-hour delay. Same thing across parts of Putnam County, Jackson, stretching back out into Clay County, and also into sections of Fayette, Raleigh, and also Boone County. But then we're going to be done with it next week, right? It's over. Winter's over, right? Right? Yeah. Well, as much as I would like to say that, no. We do have a winter is taking its sweet time, and spring will be a late spring. And I've had people say, "What's a late spring?" Well, it just means it's going to be colder for longer as we go into spring, and it's going to take us a while to really get to those warm-ups. So we got to wait till deep into spring before we start to see some of that. So the water on the rivers and the lakes are going to be colder than they should be going into spring, but hey, you wanted to get rid of a drought, so we did. Unfortunately, we just did it in one big grand fashion. All right, Bryan, as always, it's a pleasure to talk to you. I want you to come back on to talk about regatta. I want you to come back on to talk about baseball, and I don't want you to talk about winter anymore. So hopefully this is the last time I talk to you, unless it's about those things, okay? We'll see what we can do. We're trying to book our acts right now. We're doing fundraising and getting ready. We're adding new things to the regatta, and guess what? Boat rides. Cool. Sounds good. Right now, I'll take it. Bryan, I appreciate it. I'm glad you're off the boat, man. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot. Sounds good. Bryan Hughes from Storm Tracker 13. Yeah, it just seems like this is the winter that would not end. It really does. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. Special Olympics embodies the true spirit of sportsmanship, not merely about winning medals. It's about being part of a team, practicing and competing together. The joy and fulfillment derived from these experiences are immeasurable as athletes find their confidence and self-worth through the shared pursuit of victory. West Virginia Enriched, in collaboration with Huntington, invites you to witness the transformative power of Special Olympics. Check out a video highlighting the Special Olympics, Facebook.com/580WCHS. All right, let's get to some text a little bit later on. We will go live to the Capitol to close out the show to talk to Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows, see what's going on under the dome. Going back to the Patrick Lewis situation, text says, while I appreciate the politician's admission of wrongness, I find it alarming he apparently signed and approved a document without realizing the importance or impact and the contents of such. Text says, but the voters in West Virginia only care about the R behind the name.
Text says Republicans are masters of smoke and mirrors, and general voting public is so wrapped up in base emotions and unfortunately not wise enough to discern the differences, says a texter. Texter says all West Virginia is doing is making it as difficult as possible for parents to allow their children to mutilate their bodies before and during puberty, says a texter. Texter says on JB McCuskey, they refer to the heats that I mentioned that he was over the 504 plan because of, quote, this is texter saying disputed language. That disputed language is trans people. Why do Republicans, conservatives always have to be punching down on people? And why use coded language? They should just say they don't think trans people should exist, says a texter. Texas, West Virginia is first in one thing, having Republicans who are the most hypocritical, cultish snowflakes in the country, says a texter. Text says, Dave, these are the people who were elected as representatives of their voters. They represent who elected them. Those voters want punitive legislation. Those voters want nestling up to Trump's bosom and into woke words and renaming things after Trump. This is West Virginia at the moment, says a texter. Text says the GOP MAGA super duper majority is the proverbial dog who's caught the car and has no idea what to do with it, says a texter. Texter says, so should we call it utter milk, not cow milk? If our West Virginia AG is now learning about the drug epidemic and how to spot addicts, and he has one person to talk with, the recovery community in his office are woefully ignorant of the real problems that have affected alcoholics, addicts, their families, and the communities around the state devastated by the opioid epidemic and especially fentanyl. Texas Dave, yes, West Virginia is last in most categories because folks like you and others didn't support President Trump and his Put America First policies back in November. Thanks. So West Virginia is last in everything because people didn't support President Trump. So it only happened since, last year, since 2016. I've been pretty fair about this. West Virginia's problems cannot be blamed on one person or one party. And anybody, I've been fair about this. Anybody that thinks that the problems West Virginia has started with Donald Trump, you are wrong. And anybody that says that the problems West Virginia has went with any party are wrong. There's a whole lot of blame to go around this here mountain state, my friends. Texas, stop pretending you are surprised by the stupidity of the legislature. You, Dave, voted for this and wanted it. You pretended that the delegates were serious and voted for the culture war garbage. Worse, you never, ever forced them to answer for the colossal waste of resources. McDowell County and others have no water or jobs. Demand more, not less, from these waste of space that cosplay as public servants. Or get exactly what you voted for. West Virginia at the bottom, baby, says a texter. All right. The text says no one has a constitutional right to infect others by refusing to get vaccinated. Getting vaccinated is a huge public health safety measure. Your individual right ends where serious public health issues begin. Vaccines have proven themselves for over 50 years, says a texter. Text says, on the bill regarding removing tax cuts for wind farms, I'm torn. On the one hand, I hate to lose investment, but on the other hand, why are people providing corporate welfare on the taxpayer dime? The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan. If you're injured, hire Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. We're going to take a break. Got some other things I want to get to in the news. A little personal note I want to get to as well. And then we'll close it out by going live to the Capitol, to the belly of the beast, to talk to Wilson and Meadows. Back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses want to thank you for shopping locally.
No matter where you are never far from a Parmar store. From gas to groceries and everything else you need, your local Parmar store has it. Sign up for the Parmar Rewards Card and download the Parmar Stores app for even more savings. With well over 230 stores in 6 states, you are never far from Parmar. Visit parmarstores.com and follow them on your favorite social media app. If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
Download the free Metro News TV app to watch all your favorite Metro News shows, like Talkline with Dave and TJ, Sportsline with Tony Caridi, Free Guys before the game, along with great sporting events like weekly high school basketball and the upcoming state championship games, plus the exciting Tough Man events. Download the free app today. Metro News Television is powered by the University of Charleston, the West Virginia Department of Tourism, Dan Cabot Toyota, the WVHTC Foundation, and WVU Medicine.
What if your high school junior or senior could graduate with a year of college already done? At Wynn Academy, they can. Students earn free college credits in nursing or advanced manufacturing while finishing high school, saving time and thousands in tuition. Spots are filling fast. Apply by March 4th at bridgevalley.edu/Wynn Academy. Wynn Academy, a year of college while in high school.
Banking is not just about numbers. It's about people. Are you connected? Without a community bank, your financial journey might feel lonely. And who will you turn to when life gets complicated? From checking accounts to loans, Poca Valley Bank has you covered. We're here to support you with personalized service and genuine care across our 8 locations. Poca Valley Bank, your community bank where relationships matter. Visit PocaValleyBank.com for more information. Equal housing lender. Member FDIC.
It's 8 away from 10. Ryan Nicholson, our producer today. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, presented in part by your hometown baseball team, the Charleston Dirty Birds. Great season of Dirty Birds baseball coming up at Go-Mart Ballpark. Tuesdays, $2 Tuesdays with $2 tickets, popcorn, hot dogs, sodas, and more. Wednesdays, bring your dogs to the park for Woof Wednesday. Thursdays for Thirsty Thursdays with $1 beers and water. Fridays are Freebie Fridays with free giveaways. Fireworks after the game on Saturday, and Sundays family fun days. Kids 12 and under get in for free. For more, visit dirtybirdsbaseball.com. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-500. A text says, remember, Dave doesn't hold politicians accountable for the dumb and questionable things they say. He's just a talk show host. He provides the platform to sell commercials, says a texter. Text says, Dave, you do realize why you said you could not vote for Donald Trump after the tragedy of January 6th. I agree with you. Yeah, that's why I didn't vote for Donald Trump. I think I pretty much said that, but I appreciate the texter pointing that out. I want to throw something a little personal out here for a moment, if you'll allow me to. I learned last night of the death of someone who has literally been a part of my life since shortly after I was born. My family originally from West Virginia. My dad was in the military. We were living in Georgia. I was born in Georgia, and then we moved back to West Virginia. I became very close with the Cogar family, Cogar, out of the Man area of Logan County. They had a son who was just a few months older than I was, and he and I went through the crib days together, and the first day of kindergarten, et cetera, et cetera. His name was Noel Cogar, and he and I still touch base when we can. I learned last night that his father, Noel Sr., passed away, and I bring this up because through the miracle of modern technology, mainly online listening through the website and or the app, he listened to the show every morning from his home in Wyoming County. He was retired, mid-70s, great man, practically a second father to me, as I said, and he listened to the show, as I said, from his home, Wyoming County, every day, frequently would comment on things, and always followed me on social media, and he's a great man. So I just want to kind of throw that out there. Rest in peace to Noel Cogar Senior. Vaccines are your best protection against severe disease from flu and COVID-19. If you're 65 or older, risk less, do more with the season's vaccines. Get started at vaccines.gov, paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Text says, Dave, the Democrats' policies have run this state to last in everything over the years that they were the political majority. President Trump's policies and the conservative Republican Party majority will bring West Virginia and the country out of this mess. And last place on everything. Get on board, Dave. I am a conservative, for the most part. I am. I just have an issue, with a lot of the time we spend on social issues. Conservative policies, 100% on board. I'm concerned about my bank account. That's what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about paved roads. I'm concerned about the military. But when it comes to this other stuff that we spend so much time arguing about, many times that's not even an issue in West Virginia, yeah, I do get a little bit upset by that. Let's go live to the Capitol now. I think we got Dave Wilson live from the belly of the beast. Is that right, Northern Dave?
TJ's here, too. Say hi, TJ.
Hello, gentlemen.
All right, Dave. I only caught the last 3 seconds of what you just said there.
All right.
All right, how much time are we wasting on these 80-20 issues?
How
much time? Seriously,
how
much time?
We waste too much. We waste too much time. And you missed my rant.
Wait. Oh, no, wait. Hold on. Hang on.
Okay.
These are 80-20, 90-10 issues that are going to sail through.
Mm-hmm.
What's the problem?
You lost me here. What are we talking about?
Any of these social issues.
These social issues
that you say we're wasting time on. How much time are we wasting?
We're wasting
because
a lot
we bring
of time.
it up.
We're wasting a lot of time on crap that doesn't matter in West Virginia, Mr. Wilson. That's what we're doing. We need
it matters
to be
to somebody because they're bringing it up.
It matters to somebody, but not. Did you just come on in to pick a fight with me? Is that what the deal is?
Yeah, I'm feeling a little frisky this morning.
Stay up north, son. You're in my territory now. This is my part of the world. This is where we put slaw on hot dogs, boy.
I just want to know what we're wasting time on these things that are going to sail through both chambers.
Go back and listen to the podcast, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
See?
How's that?
Support his argument, TJ.
Don't we work for the same company here? I mean, really?
Okay, I'm going to take the show over now from you two and just go from here.
I work for the Northern Division.
I know. What
about you?
That's what I thought. What's up, boys?
I don't know. I totally lost my train of thought. It irritated me this morning.
I'm just saying that we focus on words, and like Brad said, I am a free speech absolutist. I don't have a problem with saying certain words. I have a problem with the fact that we're wanting to rename mountains. I have a problem with the fact when we have half of the state right now, or the southern part of the state, that is underwater. Until you get that fixed, until you get child care fixed, until you get all these other stuff, shut up. All right? Shut up and get the stuff done.
So now, you can only do one thing at a time.
Exactly. One thing at a time. One track mind.
Got it.
All right.
Got it.
Take it.
Jeez.
Right, what are we doing today, TJ?
So coming up at 10:06, Brad McElhinny will be here. We'll talk about the fact of the bills going through the Senate that requires either I can't even talk right now. You guys have me so upset. Either work or education requirements in order to get SNAP benefits. There's also a bill moving in the Senate that has to do with revoking a provision that allows wind assets to be taxed at salvage value. That was in committee yesterday and turned into basically a, hey, coal against the world and wind kind of thing. We'll talk with him on that. Coming up at 10:33, Jason Piscatella from the West Virginia Contractors Association. Chris Lawrence joins us with an update on flooding at 10:45. Coming up at 11:06, 2nd District Congressman Riley Moore. We'll ask him about flood relief and what he and the West Virginia delegation are doing to help Southern West Virginia, among other things. My favorite member of the loyal opposition to both Daves. Coming up at 11:33, Mike Pushkin, State Democratic Chair, Kanawha County Delegate, joins us. And then at 11:45, we'll talk with Glenville State University President Mark Manchin. Find out what is happening.
Did you say opposition? I think it sounds like Dave Allen and Mike Pushkin are on the same page.
Oh, I swear.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Mike and I do agree on a few things here and there. And
just know, no heifers were harmed in the making of this radio promotion.
You were the one last week, Wilson, that went on my show and almost got me fired by talking about inseminating a heifer. All right, guys, go get a drink of water. We'll talk to you 10:06.
Man, drink of something else.
Believe it or not, Wilson and I are actually really good friends. Believe it or not, we're the only voices of Marshall in this entire company, so we got to stay together. All right, coming up on the show tomorrow, nutrition expert Millie Snyder's here. Dr. Casey Sachs of Bridge Valley will be here as well. Download the Metro News TV app and the WVRC Media app. My producer had a tough job this morning, Ryan Nicholson. Thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow. Till then, have fun and love somebody.
WCHS AM, W243DRFM Charleston, and W2838 Boss Lanes, a WVRC media station. We're proud to live here too.